Hey everyone, happy Monday and welcome to our episode 6 of the MIDD, our Mortgage Intelligently Deal Desk. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a rescue loan that we got from one of our realtor partners, and specifically it was Amir who ended up actually working with the client. And he was fortunate enough to be able to help the client and also help the real estate partners, both the listing agent and the selling agent, rescue their commission as well. So in this particular scenario, it was a client that Amir had. There was I believe it was a foreign national client. And he needed a product in order for them to be able to purchase this property. So without further ado, Amir, tell us about the scenario.
Thanks, Ray. So this is an awesome scenario. I mean, awesome for me because I was able to help him out and help our realtor partners out. But I'm sure it was stressful and full of anxiety. So how do I come across this family to help? So they're foreign nationals. Foreign national means that they don't have Social Security, they don't have residency, they don't have anything in America. They're truly foreign. They're here. They just want to invest here.
They could even be visiting here, right?
They could even be visiting here. And that's what this was. He's of Jamaican descent. So he's a Jamaican national, and he was buying in South Florida. Long story short, his realtor found someone through an email, and they called the guy. The guy pre-approved them, but suddenly the guy started dropping off. Calls that were once every other day became once a week, and then by around day 22, 24. This guy was a ghost. Like his phone number didn't exist. Disappeared, like how the CIA does it to people. It's like they don't even exist on the planet. He completely ghosted the client. 30-day close, guys. It's a single family home. His EMD was non-refundable. Okay. So how did he find us? He actually started researching online portfolio loans. And he came across me and you, called in. And I told him we could do it. It was a very clean loan. This guy's a professional. He owns multiple businesses in Jamaica. He had the cash. We verified the cash. It was, a bit complicated because there's currency exchanges, there's foreign banks. They have different bank statements, different format, but we were able to provide him a foreign national loan. And a foreign national loan, you could put down anywhere from 30 to 35%, and we extend financing at really amazing rates, 30-year fixed products. I did have to call the listing agent and ask for an extension. There was no way that in 6 days we could close this transaction because an appraisal hadn't even been ordered. So here you are, you have this poor family that's in Jamaica. They've wired the money into a title company, okay? That money is now non-refundable. And 24 days into the transaction, not an appraisal was ordered. Mind you, the listing agent was not happy.
Sure.
He was not happy whatsoever. I described the scenario to him, and this is something that I don't usually do. But I consulted the client. I consulted our underwriter. I sat at her desk for, I think, 5 hours. I went through the file. And she said, the listing agent said that if he agrees to remove all contingencies, but for the appraisal, I'll extend the contract. So meaning no loan contingency. I consulted the client against the benefits and disadvantages of doing something like that. But, we really didn't have much to lose because his earnest money was non-refundable. So that would be the limitation of our damage. He removed all contingencies. It took us about 20 days to close this transaction. So we had a week from the prior contract, and we got another, 2.5 weeks from the seller. We did close it. This client has now not only referred to me 5 or 6 deals, but we've worked with that agent on numerous deals, the listing agent who wasn't happy with me, his agent, and
happy with you now.
Happy with me now. Yeah. It's been amazing. And it's been, we've been able to help those partners rescue other commissions. So, guys, just there is a solution for almost every loan, right? What's not acceptable is lack of communication. I think in this scenario, you're dealing with, people's investment, you're dealing with their dreams, their goals, whatever plans they have for their families. This loan officer who should go unnamed, I see he's still out there doing business. Lack of professionalism. As loan officers, and Ray could attest to this, we do not have a true fiduciary duty as realtors do, or as lawyers do, or as accountants do. There's no self-imposed. We have a self-imposed fiduciary duty at MCF Mortgage, but there isn't one that's mandated. We just have to do what's right. But we really believe that we are a fiduciary, and not just to the family that we're helping, but to everyone in that ecosystem at that time. So when a loan officer ghosts you and doesn't return calls, once or twice, maybe. But after that, you need to cut that loan officer and go somewhere else and find the right solution. So I'm glad we were able to help this family. It was a solid transaction. I just don't know why he dropped the ball, but I'm glad he did, because we were able to come in with our cape and rescue the scenario.
MCF Mortgage to the rescue once again.
That's right. MCF, baby.
So Amir, so tell us some, with foreign nationals, what's some of the documentation or paperwork, I guess, or documentation that a foreign national would need to provide to you, in order to move forward with financing?
Absolutely. Great question, right? Yeah. So foreign nationals, obviously assets. We need to see you have the money. We need your passport from the country of your nationality, driver's license as well too. And then through the process, you're going to apply for a tax ID number because we have to report the mortgage interest. So that's going to happen as well too. But it's a very
not really difficult. I mean, they need a tax ID number. They need to show assets, basically from and to have a valid passport from the country that they're from.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's a very you have a guest there. It looks like. Isn't the on recording light on in the studio over there, right? What's going on? No, but the documentation is minimum. What I would urge, potential candidates who are going to fall under this is to get in touch with us sooner than later, because the money aspect of it, and many times statements being in different languages, can cause issues. Now, what's important with foreign nationals, we do not lend to nationals of countries that are on the OFAC list. So these are countries that we have sanctions with, and that are not friendly to our interests as U.S. citizens and as a country, America. So they're limited by that. But overall, it's a very, as far as documents, it's very rare and very small, the amount of documentation that we require.
Limited documentation, sounds like.
That's right.
That's great. Well, thanks for sharing, Amir. That's a great win.
My pleasure.
That's a great win, and super happy. I know that client is uber happy, right? Because they almost lost their earnest money deposit, which was, you said, non-refundable, right?
It was a big sum of money. It was non-refundable. And even if it was a small amount of money, there's no reason to lose money when it could be avoided.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Amir. That's a great story to share. And, again, our realtor partners out there really want you guys to understand, who you're working with matters. Our word matters. The loan officer's word does matter. Like, Amir said, I talk to clients and I talk to realtor partners every day, as Amir does. And, we give you guys our word. When we're telling you guys that we can get something done, we're your biggest advocate, right? We have every intention in the world to try to get something done. So, communication, like Amir mentioned, is very important in this line of work. And sometimes I think we over communicate,
right.
But that's always a good thing. So that's our episode of this week for our Mortgage Intelligently Deal Desk. Until next week, everybody, have a great week. Take care.
All right, guys, take care.